everyone. I am Ishita Pramanik, an assistant professor of CIT B.Ed College, Raipur. We started a discussion on the novel Anthills of the Savannah, written by the very famous Nigerian novelist Chinua Achebe. I welcome you all this part of my video lecture. But before to start, let's take a quick recap of that part discussed in the previous video. In the previous video, we have discussed the self and the novelist in Achebe, about the novel and the major characters in the novel. Now let's know the story through the discussion on a comprehensive summary of the novel. The story revolves around three characters in this novel. They are Chris, Sam and Ikem. Actually, Sam, Chris and Ikem were long-time friends from their school days. Chris became a bureaucrat and Ikem was a journalist. Sam had an ambition to be a medical doctor, but he went to be trained as a soldier. When he came back, he saw there was a political dilemma in the country. The military aspired to take over the control from the hold of dictators and to establish a military regime. Having the strong hold in administration and faith in Sam, his school friends invited him to be the president or the head of the country. His friends helped him to form a kitchen cabinet in Kangan of the country we are actually talking about, with the headquarters in Basa. Let me remind you again that Kangan is an imaginary country set in Africa, as Malgudi is the imaginary town of Arkenarayan. However, Sam, with the help of his friends, having strong hold, established a kitchen cabinet at the town called Basa. You can imagine that Basa is the capital city of Kangan. But here I have used a term, kitchen cabinet. So what is kitchen cabinet that Sam established? Kitchen cabinet is such an inner committee in which decisions are taken as per the choice of the head and placed before the cabinet for formality. It is an informal body consists of any head or president and few other influential ministers or colleagues or friends in whom the president or the head has faith and with whom the president can discuss every issues. In short, kitchen cabinet is a kind of oligarchy through which a small group of people have control of a country. So Sam actually established such type of cabinet with the help of his nearest ones and became the president of the country. He appointed his friend Chris as the commissioner for information and one of the first advisors of him as a president. And his another friend Ikem became the editor-in-chief of a government-run newspaper called National Gazette. Initially, Sam was acting as a very dedicated leader, for which Chris and Ikem had deep admiration for Sam. But Sam gradually became so greedy for power that he unknowingly became a cruel dictator. It is said that the addiction of power makes the ruler a blind, as we have seen in Shakespeare's Macbeth, how a great soldier in Macbeth became a power-digging criminal and made a tragedy of loss. However, Sam then wanted everybody to vote for him to become a president of the country for lifetime. He wanted to hold the power of the country forever as a president. There were four major provinces in the country of Kangan. Out of these four, The people of three provinces voted for Sam to be the president for lifetime. But there was a province called Abazan, not Amazon. It is Abazon, Abazan. It is Abazan and the people of which refused to vote for Sam. Because to them, Sam was a military officer and it is a deviation of law for a military officer to execute in power. But having the majority, Sam established himself as the president of the country and a cruel dictator as well. He became very hateful to the people of the Abazan province and totally ignorant for the development of the province. Although Sam won an election to serve for lifetime and his advisors declared it as a mandate by winning 3 out of 4 provinces, but it was not 100% of the vote. On the other hand, he came as a newspaper editor of the National Gazette, had declared through his editorial column that a president should only serve for lifetime if he earned 100% of the vote. Sam was tempted by that newspaper article and was about to abide with, but his advisers insisted, rather flattered him that the president never agreed to that condition and should have no obligation to keep faith on this type of diplomacy. And it was starting of the clash in friendship between Sam and Ikem, and thereafter between Sam and Chris through consequence. Meanwhile, a state of famine occurred at the province of Abazan due to drought or scarcity of water. The people of Abazan asked the government for help, but the government of Sam directly or indirectly refuses their appeal. The people then decided to pay the president a solidarity visit. As they got to the headquarters, the officials were afraid. The head of the state decided to send Professor Reginald Ocom, the Commissioner for Home Affairs, to pacify the people in protest from Abazan. The visit was not covered by the media for the fear of not wanting other tribes to follow the same way of protest or likewise. Ikem, on the other side, kept on criticizing the governmental policies, laws, and activities and reported the poor condition of the people of different provinces of the country through his editorial column as a true journalist. And therefore, Ikem was gradually involving into the enmity with Sam as the dictator in Sam was then beyond the all values of true friendship and criticism as well. After their ignoble reception, the delegation from Abazan went to a hotel room where Ikem was invited to meet with the delegation. The delegation head had a faith on Ikem for his true journalism, which might have been helpful to them to have a mass support from society and might have ignited their protest. Coincidentally, it was also the fact that Ikem had a native connection with the province of Abazan. The head of the state came to know about Ikem's meeting with the people of Abazan and thought that Ikem had joined Abazan to form a revolt or protest against government. For this reason, Sam, the head of the state, asked Chris, who was the commissioner of information of his cabinet, to prepare a letter to fire Ikem from the post of editor-in-chief of the government-run newspaper National Gazette. But Chris was a man of principle and he refused Sam to issue a letter to Ikem. Sam felt humiliated by this refusal of Chris And he started doubting that probably Chris and Ikem were together making a conspiracy against Sam's government. Now, I am going to introduce another important character of the novel, Beatrice, who was a highly educated lady working as a senior assistant secretary in the Ministry of Finance in Sam's government. She was romantically involved with Chris and an old friend of Icam and was working as an employee in Sam's government. And thus, she was common person to these three friends. She has been shown in this novel as a strong and outspoken feminist. She was sometimes blamed by the people around her as a highly ambitious. And Sam tried to take the advantage of her ambitiousness by proposing her to be sexually involved with him. But Beatrice tactfully ignored Sam's proposal. Probably it was Sam's attempt to bring Beatrice to his side and use Beatrice to attack Chris and Ikem, but could not succeed. And therefore, Beatrice came to the envy of Sam. Day by day, Ikem was getting the popularity among the people of the town for his criticism and logical argument. But being accused of having an illegal coalition with the people of Abazan, Ikem was suspended from his position of editor-in-chief of National Gazette. Ikem prepared to give a lecture to a packed auditorium, and it appears that his popularity had grown since his suspension from the National Gazette. The lecture is entitled The Tortoise and the Leopard, a political meditation on the imperative of struggle. And the crowd was excited to receive the lecture. In angry humiliation, the head of the state, Sam, planned for the killing of Ikem in cold blood. Sam planned to kill his own friend for the greed of power. In the midnight, Ikem was taken away from his home by the police and had been carefully murdered by the power-drunk military government. Chris was then the next target of elimination to Sam. Chris had been given several false cases by the police. He was declared as wanted criminal of the state. Police was looking for him everywhere in the town. He was accused of exposing the secret of the government to foreign media. Police even searched at Beatrice's house and scattered everything in her apartment. After the murder of Ikem, Ileva, Ikem's pregnant wife, was staying with Beatrice. During police raid at her house, Beatrice had to tell lie about the identity of Ileva as Ikem's wife to save her and her child from the reach of Sam. Such was the terror of Sam as an autocrat. In order to save his life, Chris hid himself here and there in Bassa and later left Bassa for Avazan on a self-exile in the company of Emmanuel, another fugitive student union president who was also declared as wanted criminal by the police, and Brahmo, a taxi driver friend. Chris had never travelled out of Bassa by bus before, and for the first time he realized the poor condition of the people. How different, how bad the people of that provinces were living their lives, what actually Ikem tried to record in his editorial. The homes along the side of the road became more and more poor as the journey progressed. And the policemen at the traffic stops looked inside the bus less and less, more willing to take money from the driver and allow the bus to continue on its way. When they stopped in a trading town, the group went to a restaurant to eat and were offered dirty water to wash their hands. They declined and asked for the water to be changed, which prompted the restaurant workers to tell them that the water truck had not arrived, and that was all they could offer. Their journey continued, and the bus had fewer and fewer passengers with each stop closer to Avazan. Chris's attention was diverted when he saw a group of merrymakers off in the distance. The cause of the merrymaking was the news that Sam, the head of the state, had been kidnapped and his power had been taken over by the chief of the army staff. Chris insisted that they must get back to Basra right away and tried to remove his things from the bus. As Chris began to leave, he heard a girl shriek in the distance and saw a policeman dragging her off in an attempt to rape her. Chris went to save the girl from the drunken policeman, but the policeman shot him to death. Chris therefore died. At the end of the story, we will see that Ileva, Ichem's wife, had given birth of a girl child. Beatrice was devastated at first when she heard of Chris's death, but she was encouraged by the support of friends and neighbors, and she focused her attention on caring for Ileva. Slowly, she began to engage more with the people around her and to think critically about the state of Kangan. Beatrice had decided to have a naming ceremony for Ileva's daughter. Ileva gave Beatrice the responsibility of naming the child, and she decided to call her Amaichina, which means may the path never close, traditionally a name of a boy. In that naming ceremony, they began to talk about Ikem. Emmanuel, the student union president who also escaped with Chris, praised Ikem for his ideas. Emmanuel said, "Changed my entire life from a parrot to a man." Ileva's family was also there, and they were surprised by the name and the ways in which the naming ceremony was being conducted. They were all able to enjoy the ceremony together and pledged to uphold certain ideals as part of the ceremony. Emmanuel passed on Chris's final message to Beatrice. He was finally becoming aware of the poverty that existed across the country and of people like Ileva's father. Beatrice is extremely thankful that Emmanuel had shared that information with her. And the story thus ends here. So, it is all about the summary of the novel. Till now, we have discussed about the self and the novelist in HB, about the novel and the major characters in the novel, and a comprehensive summary of the novel. For further discussion on this novel, please watch the next video. Thank you for your attention, and I hope I managed to express my thoughts nicely to you, and I hope I have been understandable enough. Thank you very much and have a nice day.